And hello, everyone. My name is Thomas, a.k.a. MrWartburg, and this is the 34th episode of the MrWartburg Show. I'm in an undisclosed location that is not my own place, hence the awesome setup that you see before your eyes today. For my guest today, I'm a longtime friend, Chris, who I met in college.
Hi.
We've stayed friends since, and he is, without a doubt, the biggest Batman nerd I know, and just biggest nerd in general. Makes me look like a frickin' sports jock who thinks he's weird. And I love comic books, so that should tell you something.
To be fair, my nerddom is very
specific. Yeah, it's Star Trek and Batman with Batman, Justice League starring Batman, basically. Yeah, let's put it that way. So, you being the biggest Batman nerd I know, hence you know like the $2,000 Batsuit behind me, which we did a costume contest together with a few years ago with me as the ever lovable Jim Gordon. Which we got second place, I want to say, the first time we did it.
Third
place, and I got Powers Volume 1. Great book, loved that book. I need to finish the other volumes, but there's this thing coming out. It's called The Killing Joke. It's an animated adaptation of one of the seminal works in Batman's 75 plus history at this point. So it was here in town, locally close to where Chris lives, and drove down a couple hours to see it. It's an hour and a half. What'd you think of it, Chris?
I liked it. I thought it was a good adaptation.
Bring it down, dude. Look at that. I can't fix that. Continue.
I thought it was a good adaptation of Alan Moore's classic storyline.
Just keep going.
I'm sorry, I'm a musician. We're a lot closer to the mic than that.
Yeah, this
usually.
is speaking. I don't need a mic inside of a mouth tonight. So let's continue.
Well, that's half the fun. I thought that it was a good adaptation of Alan Moore's storyline.
I know you're not a fan of the original.
I was always a Batgirl Barbara Gordon fan more than an Oracle Barbara Gordon fan, so...
she does kind of get the shaft in the story.
Yeah,
she
gets
more in the
over.
Original source material than this one.
Yeah, I mean, part of what I really did like of this adaptation was I did like her expanded role in the story.
I like how they fleshed it out a little more. Wasn't such a big victim, which was basically she was that story's victim. Batman got to go be the hero. Very 80s in its writing. The story would not be written the same today because it probably wouldn't be Alan Moore because who does he get along with? So
nobody.
As Chris was saying right before the movie, he's probably like, Alan Moore probably hates this. So I was like, well, what does he like besides breathing? Because everything else he seems to hate.
I mean, I'm sorry, but how can you hate Watchmen?
Or V for Vendetta. That was an awesome adaptation. Hugo Weaving was fantastic, and he hated it. But anyway, Killing Joke, adaptation. Much like most DC movies, or the animated ones, it's an hour and a half. This one's a rated R. That said, Flashpoint Paradox and Under the Red Hood did more with a PG-13 rating than this one did with an R.
True, but Mark Hamill's Joker did get a great line at the end. Oh, God,
he had some great stuff. Yeah, that was some great stuff. I mean, this is the one that's like, Mark Hamill owned this movie.
Oh, very much so.
Like, even Conroy was upstaged, like, just as a side character, because it's the Mark Hamill show. That's a unique part of the story, is it's told a lot from the Joker's perspective. You get his
that's
his
why
backstory.
it's the penultimate ultimate
Joker
story. It's what it's known as.
Yeah.
And I mean, you get the Man Without a Name Joker origin story.
Yeah.
And you get the Under the Red Hood, or the original Red Hood story.
Mm-hmm. And he absolutely nails it. I mean, there was a documentary piece before and after that showed off a lot of what Hamill did in the voice booth, and it was epic. It was like watching... I don't even know what... It was like going to watch, like, back in the day, if you watch any, like, power hitters at batting practice. It was like that. It was just awe-inspiring to watch. And, I mean, the guy's been doing it since 1992. Same with Kevin Conroy, who, by the way, had, I think, one of my favorite lines. He got to say, "Swear to me." And it was awesome.
It so much better than Bale.
It was I almost cheered at that point. I was like, fuck yes. It was awesome. And I had so much fun at that point. All in all, it's a very different Batman story than most people are used to. Because like I said, it's not a Batman story. It's a Joker story. So there's some different themes that have to go into play because Joker's freaking nuts. And that said, I thought the movie played it tame. There was some stuff, like the stuff with Gordon, that they just... implied he went crazy, and it's like he didn't do anything. Like, he did a train ride. It freaked him out. But that's not...
Well,
the Joker did more in the book.
It's what he sees in the train ride.
Yeah, that was it. They did nothing else to him. Like, no, he did more.
I mean, the torture scenes in Under the Red Hood was far worse.
And that was PG-13.
Yeah. And
that was visceral. That was...
Well,
you felt like
those,
you were getting hit in the gut, whereas like this guy, it's a character with... I don't think Ray Weiss was the best choice for Commissioner Gordon.
I thought he did okay. I mean, with
but it's the Killing Joke. You don't want to be just okay with Commissioner Gordon, who is a central part of the whole story. It's like you couldn't get somebody else with a little more oomph behind the voice, especially when you got Conroy, Hamill, and Tara frickin' Strong. You get Ray Weiss. I love Ray Weiss. It's not Commissioner Gordon.
No, but I mean, if you want to go with the animated series, Gordon, he's dead.
Yeah, but there are others.
Yeah, I mean,
you just need somebody with a little.
You could have got Gary Oldman, but even I love Gary Oldman as Gordon.
You don't need to get Gary Oldman, but you just need to get the guy that was in Arkham Origins.
Yes,
that was a very good Jim Gordon, and clearly is known to the WB people. Well, maybe they asked. I don't know. It just that was the one part where it was like that was a misstep for me for that point. Just because I didn't buy that dude was Gordon. Just a little more unassuming than I usually feel he is. You know what I mean?
The only part that I thought he was weak was when they go to Arkham.
Yeah, exactly that. Where it's like
that performance there was a little
Gordon.
weak.
Like he's been fighting with Batman in this timeline. What 10+ years?
But part of that would have been the script too. I think.
Oh, I understand that the source material was kind of light on his meat, but I think the voice acting had something to do with it. But I don't want to harp on that a ton because it was a decent movie.
It was a good movie. It was. I mean, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the Killing Joke storyline. I never have been.
It's definitely a return to form for DC Animation because this is now 2 movies in a row they've nailed out of the park.
Yeah.
At least from the ones that are getting big pushes, like Gods and Monsters, Bruce Timm, and this one, Bruce Timm.
It was nice to see the return of the Bruce Timm design more.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's Bruce Timm design.
But there was definitely influence there, especially when they showed the Batmobiles. Because they took out the Batmobiles that were in the comic book, and they put the ones
90s.
From the animated series.
Which means you got Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. You damn well better be.
Yeah.
But it felt almost more Adam Westy, at least with the Batsuit.
It's pretty accurate to the comic book.
Oh, yeah, I get that. That's pretty accurate, but that's the headpiece.
I didn't like the ears.
No.
The ears were the main thing. I mean, the silhouette and everything was fine.
They were weird, but...
And the Batgirl suit was definitely looked like the animated series suit.
Yep, sorry, I'm just making sure the audio's still going. It was. Computer just black screened. So yeah, those are our... I mean, it's all in all, where would you rank this in the Batman animated movies? Specifically animated. So obviously...
Are we including the animated... I mean, are we talking...
That one counts.
So are we including Return of the Joker in
We're
those?
not.
Or?
No, that's a take off. I don't know. No, I don't think so, because those are takes off of pre-existing property. I'm talking solo movies that had nothing to do with previous.
So we're talking the DC animated new ones.
Yeah, the specific movies not tied to a property.
I'd put it up there. I mean, my favorite is Under the Red Hood by far.
No. Oh, yeah, because you can't say Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah.
But Red Hood is awesome.
Yeah, excluding the DCAU Timverse, Under the Red Hood would be my favorite. I really like the adaptation they did of The Dark Knight Returns.
That was pretty awesome.
The 2-parter there was fantastic. And you had, Peter Weller as Batman.
Yeah.
So if you can't get Conroy, I mean...
I'm a Justice League Doom guy. Because that was a Batman story.
Doom. He had Conroy in it, too.
Exactly.
And the ending's
with
great.
Tim Daly.
Yeah.
Tim Daly.
I mean, come on.
The dude... Go watch the Daily Superheroes. Oh, man, that was a very awesome short-lived series.
Specifically watch the Superman skit.
Yes, and the one with Nathan Fillion.
And the one with Kevin Conroy.
And Michael Rosenbaum was in that one.
Yeah.
It's like, Conroy, Daily. Oh, it was great.
So
good shit. So
yeah, I would give it probably... What's your rating on?
I don't want to give them numbers. I would just say it was good, but I expected better with them pushing that this is R and it's a seminal story and it's like this Batman epic, and you're going, I just didn't feel it. You know what I mean?
I liked the movie. I mean,
I'm not saying
for
it's
not
bad.
being a huge fan of The Killing Joke, I thought it was...
Crashed again. I have no idea where it crashed. Alright, so part 2. The audio crashed. Everything went to shit. We're all good. Took a little bit. So, yeah, we were in the middle of ranking the movies. You would put it maybe after a couple, which are really, really good movies in Red Hood, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite up there either. I think it's definitely above some of their lower tier shit that they put out lately. All the New 52 crap. Are you kidding me?
I'd put it in the upper third.
I'm right there with you. I don't think it hits the highs of the DC animated heyday, which I think pretty much ended with Flashpoint Paradox, and then kind of maybe saw the light with Gods and Monsters being its own unique thing.
I don't know if it's ended. I just think people are getting sick of the New 52 Damian Wayne movies.
Well, Damian Wayne's a fine character. It's just how they're making him basically Gary Sue 101. That's like, oh yeah, an 11-year-old can totally outstrength frickin' Slade Wilson. That's a thing that can happen. When Slade Wilson has all the leverage in the world.
He was trained by Ra's al Ghul.
Gives a shit. Doesn't overdo genetics.
No, I don't. I'm not
His
a huge
genetics
Damian
is Bruce
fan.
Wayne. Bruce Wayne could not do that at 11. Period.
No.
So anyway, let's not harp on that because I think we all know how the both of us feel on that now. So, all in all, it was a decent movie. I had fun. It was a good time. Mostly because I got to spend it with my buddy Chris. But all in all, definitely worth watching.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, if you're looking for a good comic adaptation and you want an adult version of the 90s animated series...
It's adult.
I mean, this...
Other than the Arkham games, this is
Perfect,
the best you're going to get.
Yeah, it's the closest you're going to get right now.
Yep.
Until Justice League Action comes out next year.
I don't know. We'll see.
It
about
has
that.
Hamill and Conroy. I mean, I'm sold.
We'll see. I haven't seen too much of it, and the name is just like... It just sounds like Teen Titans Go.
It looks better from the trailer.
Okay, I'll have to look at it. So anyway, that has been episode 34 of the MrWartburg Show. But don't you worry. We're going to have another episode next week, right here, same channel, Sunday.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
No, I'm not going to say that. But
It's
it'll
okay, I
be
will.
with the same setup. It'll be with Chris. Please stay in frame, Chris, because you're leaning out of frame. So yeah, we'll see you in a week. Bye. Oh yeah, like, subscribe, share, that stuff. Do that. Bye.